of diverse sectors comprising of telecom sectors, copyright industries, real estate companies, and various public sector companies. Uh, in fact, Shikhar sir has aided many state governments in many courts and tribunals in Delhi, Mumbai, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh. He's also worked very closely on many commercial and transactional matters for various clients. A pleasure to have you with us, sir. It's good listening to the
Thank
experience.
you.
I would like to turn over to you. But before I do, I would like to state a few rules. Everybody will be given uh, everybody will be given a link to to an attendance form in the comment section. Please do fill out the link and mark yourself present for this webinar. Yeah, that's the thing. Over to you, sir. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik, for the beautiful words you put. Now we should come directly to the topic of the day, that is foreign direct investment regulations in India. Now, considering this, how this foreign direct investment can escalate our country's economy, and especially through Make in India campaign, now we have to understand that from where it has come from, and how this concept evolved, especially in India. In India, this the open economy and the free economy, or the global economy, whatever we say, that come in 1990s, when after the spectral license Raj, we opened up our economy for the other businesses about the other countries to come and invest and to make and to do business to and to and in return to give the commercial benefit along with the technological input and along with other benefits for to our country. And now if we say that what's the foreign direct investment, so we have to understand this word also, that it's just the investment done by the foreign company or the individual in the company. Okay. So now the foreign direct investment, how it happens, and what are some pros and cons, we also touch upon on those topics also. So first start with the foreign direct investment. What is the foreign direct investment, and how can it be made in India? And third key, how our country can fulfill its dream to be a global superpower. Now, so let's I have said recently that the foreign direct investment started in 1990s, when our country opened up the economy to other countries and to the other business entities. Okay, and after at that time, because all this has to be done within a framework of law. So at that time, one act is called FEMA, that was also promulgated by the government of India. That is called generally called FEMA. Everyone has heard. It's called the Foreign Exchange Management Act. And Dr. Manmohan Singh, who's also the Prime Minister of India, he was a very key personnel in that to motivate and to he was, you will say, the crusader of all this thing. Okay, so there are a lot of people also there, like Dr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia, and a lot of economists were there who all this come together, and with a collaborative effort, they made that happen. Now, after that, once our India opened up to the global economy or the global businesses, it brought a lot of reforms. So, how it has affected the society? It has brought the societal changes, economical changes, and the legal aspects. Obviously, we can see that before that, nobody is like that. No MNCs we can see like Pepsi, Cola, they were doing businesses, and in fact, today we see a lot of a lot of sector like we say the most worst sector today's world is aviation sector. There are a lot of still there were not so many like, international players were there like the Boeing and we know yeah, the Boeing and there's another so much with the engines and capacity and another companies were there and once this economy opened up, so it gave a lot of avenues to each and every business sector. Now moving on to the what FEMA or what this foreign direct investment, that is the word we are going to use interchangeably also. So the FEMA, it gives powers to the central government, and it is necessary because through which we can regulate and we can impose restrictions or we can check the all the transactions so that it will not be detrimental to our country's economy. It should not happen that somebody in the under the garb of this foreign direct investment come to our country and take away with all the money or create too many liabilities on us. So that act was there so that all these things will be checked. Similarly, there are a lot of other agencies which have been playing the key role, like the Reserve Bank of India, SEBI Security Exchange, Security Exchange, which we generally say SEBI, and after that, these two also they were their role was that if there is any financial transaction between one entities in India and another entity outside the territory of India, they should have a record for a number of purposes for what it is being done. There should be any tax liability. Is it legal? It should not have any proceeds. It should not be connected with any proceeds of crime. So these were the two other bodies who were who have been working as a watchdog for the country. Now, if now foreign direct investment, there was when we opened up, we have some apprehensions, obviously, and we have allowed what some approval to industries in a full-blown manner, and we have restricted some uh, industries or some sectors to a particular limit, and we can say that in the mining, like if I give an example, that will be much better. Like mining and exploration of metals, there is one sector where there was 100% FDI was allowed. Now, before going to that it's allowed and 100%. Now there are we should also understand how the FDI is done. FDI generally is done through two process. One is the government route and another is the automatic route. Now, as we know, that's in our country or any country has some sectors which are very, very crucial, right? And which pertains to our intelligence, which, right? And they're very security sensitive matters were there. So we have devised like that. Some sectors are allowed through automatic route, and some sectors are allowed through the government route. Now, what happened is that in first we will deal with the what is the automatic route where the permission of the government is not required. Like say tea plantation is you have an estate of tea in Assam, and another company or one company of like say Britain or any company wants to invest in the state of tea in Assam. So there is a way that they will come and they will purchase the states, or they can give their most technical benefits, so that what we are cultivating that can be utilized in much more scientific and refined manner, so that we can get the best material out of that. For that, for that, the government route was there. Okay, so government route, what happens is that where we have to take the permission from the government. It was the 100% government route before 2014 till I think 2017. It was 100% through the government route. After that, it has been converted to the automatic route because seeing all the circumstances. So it's the one example, like how the automatic route and the government route. Now there are certain sectors where their two routes coexist, like one is automatic route and the government. These two routes coexist. How? Let me explain. Suppose there is a broadcasting. Right? Broadcasting is going on, or broadcasting service, and maybe the news channel, or you say any DTH. Okay. So here, what has happened? Once the FDI allows that up to a certain level, means we should be up to a certain level, means up to 49%, there will be automatic route. Up to 49%, why? Because no company, no foreign company can come and overtake the Indian company under the FDI. We have to protect the interest of Indian capital, of the Indian capital, Indian businesses, right? So their automatic route was allowed up to 49%. Means out of 100, they can acquire 49%. They can invest till 49% of the company share, and they can work with the Indian entity. If they want to go up and from 49 to 74%, then there is also a ceiling. Ceiling is of 70 to 74%. You can't go beyond that. So there was a ceiling of 74%. So from 49% to 74%, there is a government route. Now, once the government route kicks in, so a lot of departments come, and there's thorough process. There's a complete process there. How the government route will go. That's different and a lengthy thing. But we just go through it and skimmed it. So seeing it from an eagle's eye views, we can say that it will go to the DIPT, then it's called Department of Industrial Policy and Training, and then through something through MHA and through Ministry of External Affairs and the RBI and all this, they will give the final report, and they will put it that yes, should be allowed or should not be allowed. So from 49% to 74%, coming back to our thing, from 49% to 74%, if the government allows, then another foreign entity can invest from more than 49%, but up to the 74%. Now, in the present situation, which is today in 2020, 100% automatic route has been done. So all things have been waved away, and from all automatic route, government route, they have all been done away, and it is another. They have made it 100% automatic route right now. So I think that after this automatic route and this government route, because it is required, so they have put it to the different sectors. Now, if we should see in this how this FDI has helped the economy of our country, and is it has done some changes or not? Yes, no doubt. Everybody is touched by all these changes, whether it's directly or indirectly. So, in any from let's start with the mobile. Don't have access to such a technology now. Before, and we can imagine the 1990s, we used to have some telegram, then telephone. Several means very limited people, and people are aware of those. If they are not, then even for to apply for a telephone or with, then you have to get a license, and it is a very also cumbersome process. And right now, that's because of this technological development, because of this FDI, because of that, we have we are seeing a vast change. Maybe today people are not, but if we look and if we read and if we think that what was the situation at that time, so you will be really amazed that you wake up in the morning, you have a phone in your hand, you can talk to anyone in the world, right? So that's the life and most and one of the most common example. Then you can see that in today's right, you can switch on your TV and you can see the global news, what is happening in another zone and another territory of the country, of the world, even of the country and of the world, what is happening, and all this through what it has been through all this technology. So I will be using, I will be making comparison like what will be the situation, what were the situation in 90s. Okay, people has to depend on that radio and Doordarshan. If I'm maybe not wrong, maybe Doordarshan was capable or not, but there was a radio and people have to depend on this. So what's the information, what has happened, what even for what is government doing today, you can see the live proceedings of the parliament, whether it's Lok Sabha, whether it's the Rajya Sabha. You can know okay, what the government is going to do. Any notification, any order, you can get it at the same time because of this technology. But at that time, you imagine when you have to wait for the one person who will come and announce okay, that the government has done this and government is going to do that. So you can imagine the situation, what were there and today. So all this, it's not that has been changed in one day. It's a collaborative effort, and we are seeing the changes. Now, coming to all this from the way, what has happened today, seeing what has happened today, and what were the changes, because obviously the only thing constant is change. So we have to change at some regular intervals so that we always be at par with the world. If we have to dominate in the world, we have to be advanced at each and every level, and we have to adapt as per that. So if we can make a like say comparison that seeing all these situations, the government has also adapted, right? And one of the prominent things which the government is doing, and most of the people are also aware and familiar with that. That's the defense sector. The defense sector, if we put it, that it was a very close sector, and there were a lot of theories, lot of uh, you say their perceptions, right? But even apart from that, we were also technological crippled because we don't have so much technology, and there were some also challenges for production and for a lot of things, if we just put it. Now gradually we have come that we have allowed in the defense automatic the up to 74% in today's time. Before that it was 26%, and that is by only the government route. And if you want to go beyond that 26%, then cabinet committee on security recommendations were mandatory. So, but you were seeing that due to all this technological advancement and to make our country a better place economically, socially, and even the legally. So we have opened up this sector. And all this are the concerted efforts of the government of India through a lot of campaigns, like you say, Make in India campaign, or Make in or Produce in India, and to a lot of things which they can say, yes, we have to be a super global power, and we have to be one of the major superpowers in the world. So this is one of the sectors which today has been one of the prominent sectors. Even apart from that, there were certain changes have been done not only in this, but there were certain sectors. I say, like, one is the broadcasting. In the broadcasting, there is also certain changes have been made. First, before you can say till 2014 and till 2017, it was up. Any foreign entity wants to invest, then they have to take permission from the government, and they can invest up to 26%. Now, with the opening up of the economy, the foreign entity can invest up to 49%. So there is a, you can say, 23% improvement. They have opened up more. Similarly, in case of channels where the uptaking and up news channels, it is the same also. And we can say that with the advancement, we can see even for the airports, where in the airport there was every was allowed till 74% through automatic. Now it's 100%. Even for the private security agencies, which we in the metros generally, which we see, right, it was up to 49% previously, and that is by through the government route. Now it is up to automatic to 49%. And if you go beyond about 49 to 74%, there is a ceiling. So you have to take the government permission. Similarly, there is some in the insurance sector. There is also change has been made. In the insurance sector, there was FDA was allowed up to up to 26% through automatic route. Now it is through automatic only, but up to 49%. So why we put all these figures? Because this automatic and government, because these are very basic, and these are determining rules. Now, if now we are seeing one of the the things that is our economy, not our economy, even the whole world economy has been affected by this and COVID-19 virus. And to it has affected to our country, to our, the whole world, and seeing the its effects and its repercussions, the government has adapted and to protect the small businesses and the businesses of the Indian people, they made changes. They made changes how they have when they made an amendment that if any entity wants, if any entity situated in the border sharing land, whether it's Pakistan, Afghanistan, sorry, not Pakistan, or China and Burma, then the entities situated there and incorporated there, they have to take the permission of the government, irrespective of what is allowed or what is not allowed through government or the automatic route. So it shows that FDI and if we see that legally it goes with the changes happens in the society, and we have to go and adapt as per the changes as per the changes happen. And as the world has been passing through the worst stage of this pandemic, we have adapted to protect the business of the people. So, and similarly, we have also opened up our economy in various sectors, as we said. So, it's through with all this, we can say yes, the FDI has made a tremendous effect on each thing of our life, whether it's individual, whether it's company or government, everything. And we have adapted ourselves. The government has tried to make it to make it more friendlier to its people, so that more technology will come. We have more. We can reduce our fiscal deficit. We can have the more foreign exchange, and all these things can make us big and put us on the map of the world in a great superpower manner. So that's we can say it's in nutshell we say that yes, there are a lot of changes have been happening, and we have been witnessing all this, and obviously, and in the years to come, there will be more as the changes happen, and we can take all the benefit from this. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the enlightening session on FDI laws. Uh, I will. We will now move on to the Q&A session, and I will stop sharing my screen for the same. So I will ask you a few questions, sir. You can answer to the best of your
Please.
this thing. Yeah. So I just let me just stop sharing. Yeah. All right, sir. So my first question to you is, so what is meant by foreign? What is the difference between foreign investment, foreign direct investment, and foreign portfolio investment, sir?
Okay, great. So foreign investment is it's a bigger term. Okay. So
Yeah.
foreign investment, and it's a bigger term which comprises it's your foreign direct investment and foreign portfolio investment. It's called FPI, foreign portfolio investment, and FDI, it's the foreign direct investment.
Yeah.
Now what happens? Yeah. Now what happens that in the foreign direct investment and entity, suppose Tetley like Tetley of the Britain wants to one of the tea states of the Bak Bakri. Okay, so how they, because the tea state we have allowed this foreign direct investment as per the policy. So they will come, they will invest in a company, right? And they will invest in a company, and they can either take over that company, okay, or they can buy some shares or whatever the agreement between those parties, okay. And as per the today's policy of the foreign direct investment, they can even acquire the 100% of that company. So if the Tetley wants to, feels that the tea leaves which grow here in our Assam or in some of the tea states of the southern part, they are very good, and they can from their those tea leaves they can make a very good tea. They can come and they can invest in India in a company which is looking after that, and with after the investment they can bring their they can bring their technology and set up plants through, and which can give major role to the workers also, and they will help they will help in developing a good tea, so that not India, even the world can have the best taste from that tea leaves. That's through FDA. Now,
Mm.
if we come with the foreign portfolio, the foreign portfolio is very limited. Okay, so it's generally it doesn't happen in all these entities. So, and foreign even there are some restrictions with the foreign direct investment. You can't have in the trust. Okay, means that's with the foreign. In the trust societies, you cannot put your money, or you cannot make investment. So these are the you can say that the entity wise they have classified all this, and in that FDI allows a wider role in respect of foreign portfolio, and F and foreign investment is bigger nomenclature for this. Even foreign investment, if it's if let's say a person is coming to India and buying property here, and obviously from America, and they are has to exchange the dollars, so that will also come within the definition of the foreign investment. So
All right.
he is not bound by that he should have to invest in a company or something. So
Okay, sir.
that's the thing.
Yeah. Sir, you had mentioned that there is two different types of routes of investment, automatic and government routes of investment, and they both differ in the ways that you have to like basically seek authority from the, you have to seek authorization from the government. So that does mean, that implies that there are some sectors in India where you can't invest also. Could you just give us examples of sectors where investment from foreign companies is prohibited? Like all I am aware of is that atomic energy and railway operations are two industries where foreign investment is prohibited. So could you
Mm-hmm.
please give me examples of other industries where it's prohibited?
Sure. So there are first, though, like I told you that today is defense sector. In 2020, we have opened this defense sector from 26% to 74%, and
Hmm.
then the 74 defense manufacturing, and the defense it was up to only the 74% that has been through the automatic route. Similarly, then there was another sectors of the current news channels where there is a technological thing of uplinking and downlinking is required. Okay, so there was also a totally prohibited route of the total prohibited route, and if there is investment, then it has to be through the government. It has been changed to the automated route 100%. If now there are certain sectors like in the telecom services, like you were saying, there's a atomic space, even in the telecom, which is another sensitive area. In that, you entity is allowed up to the 49% to invest in that company. And I will give you a very recent example. Let's Reliance has sold Reliance Jio, especially Jio has it's in the telecom sector, has sold its share, right? So it has sold its shares to the various entities, and the biggest investment was done by the Facebook. That is 9.9%. Okay, and why it is so? Because once you cross that limit of 9.9%, if you touches 10% and go beyond that, then FDI will process starts to kick in. Okay, so here I'm just trying to a bit how this investment is done. Now, if they don't want to come within the FDI, okay, and but if they don't want, they do not wish to come to that. That's why they put it less than 10%. Now they have more wish to come. If they wish to come to the FDI, then they can do up to only the 49%. Okay, and beyond that, obviously they have to take the permission from the government, and the government will obviously, after that, if it's allowed, then sorry, then they will be allowed for the investment. So these are certain sectors apart from the atomic and railway, where the you can say the investment is allowed, but they have certain limits, and they have to abide by all those you say terms and conditions.
All right. Yes, sir. So the next question
And
I
sorry,
have.
Karthik, I'm so
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
And why is always a thing goes on? Why we have put it so? There were only two sectors. There were a lot of sectors before 2020. In fact, 2014, which I think I have told you, like tea plantation and lot of defense even. There were they not complete prohibition. There were some sectors where complete prohibition was there, like atomic and the space and this. But to make our country advanced, we have opened up. We have opened up this foreign direct, because once the people feel, the foreign investors feel that they can invest, and even the country feel that they can take advantage of that, so they have opened up. So I think so, if things goes well, even these sectors will be relaxed in the coming days, and the start process, you can see that railways has gone down to the path of privatization.
All right.
So you can sooner we will see that there will be some changes in those sectors also.
Okay. Next question, sir. What are the instruments for receiving foreign investment in an Indian company? Like through what instruments of investment do Indian companies generally receive foreign investment?
There are different instruments. You can purchase your shares, capitals, equities. These are different ways, right? It all depends between the two parties, means two companies or the entities which are going to in this agreement for this foreign direct investment. How they want to trade this thing. So it's not fixed that obviously that you can do only one thing.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you for that. So, uh, next question would be, what is the method of payment or remittance of credit of sales proceed in case of transfer of shares between an Indian entity and a non-resident entity?
Sorry.
I'll repeat the question. The method of payment or remittance remittance slash credits or sale proceeds from transfer of shares. So if I am an Indian, sir, and you are a foreign investor, and we are having a transaction of transfer of shares between us, how is the method of payment and remittance or the proceeds from the sale of those transfer of shares? How would it be, done?
Okay, I got it. See, uh, all this which I mentioned that RBI and the SEBI, all this and the FEMAC, they all these things take care. Okay, suppose you are an Indian entity and you want to dilute your 49% stake in the company, and you are going to do it through your shares. So, and the foreign company wants to purchase, so they will send the money. Okay, there is proper channel. It's very important. It's a proper channel that and the proper banks, means they have to take the banks have to take the permission for the RBI whether they are authorized to do the foreign exchange or not. And that's very common. If you see that, whether if you go and ask whether it's the foreign authorized, then they can say yes, or that they can say no. But right, so there is a dedicated path there. From there the money will come, and all why the government and the bank, you have to fill the form. There are a lot of compliances. Let me tell you, there are n number of compliances there. So means if we can go and look out to all the rules and procedure, there are n number of forms you have to fill it. Okay, so it's a routine process for those working. So they have to fill those forms. You have to tell them your banker here, there, okay. And by filling out the forms, you have to tell these forms will automatically go to the RBI. They are working as a watchdog. They look whether all these things are going as per the law. If they have any doubt, they will stop all those payment, or they can freeze all those payment. And
Okay.
right, so it's a very cobweb thing, and but it is necessary. Why it is necessary? Because with the external factors, maybe somebody is laundering their money through all these ways. So to just stop and check, these things are required. So if we put in a wide one, you have dedicated channel. If I put it in a one line, you have a dedicated channel. You complete all those formalities, money will come, money will go.
All right. So thank you for that. Um, so the next question is, what are FDI compliant instruments? I know that this is kind of a repeat of the previous question, but what are the modes of issue of shares in which general permission is available is the question I was coming to. So what are these FDI compliant instruments that general permission is directly available to foreign investors while investing in India, where they do not require any special permission from the government of India?
Okay, so if I understand it correctly, so I think it depends on the sectors. Okay, the government has completely classified into the different sectors. Suppose you are going to invest in the coal mining. No, there's no permission is required. You come, okay. You have to set up your bank and all this. That's obviously you have to do that, right? And you invest in a company in India. You are suppose an NRI, or you come with you have a lot of money. You come and wants to do the coal mining, and you come in India. There is a company. You invest in it, right? Now you will come with the money. So how you can't bring bags full of dollars and full of whatever currency? So that obviously there is a dedicated corridor for that. You have to comply that, and once all those formalities will completed, you can put your money, and obviously what will be the income will come, then it will be after proper through taxations and things, that will be transferred back to you first. Second, now there are, like say we come to this telecom sector, and the telecom sector is like there's only the 49% automatic, but you want to go above beyond that, so you have to take the permission. So there sorry, the government has prescribed all the criterias. You have to give them um, their the documents which they ask, okay. And after that there is the process. They will put it to the Ministry of External Affairs. They will go to the cabinet committee, because the cabinet secretary has to see, okay. And if the government feels somewhere, if any ministries or there is some objections come out, even from the, because home ministry is also involved in that, if they put some objections, then you can be asked to be answered. And if they feel yes, everything is okay, then obviously you will be allowed. So it's all it's depend, where first it's on the sector, and second it depends in which sector how much you want to invest. And if that is through either through the government, then obviously you have to follow the government. They have a dedicated path or corridor for that. You have to comply all those conditions, and obviously you will be allowed to do that.
All right, sir. Uh, just one last question before we end the session. Uh, so, sir, what are the sorry, excuse me, sir. So, uh, a foreign venture capital investor, uh, that is capital ventures who investors, what is the route that they have to take while investing in India? Is it the same thing that they have to do in an FDI, or is there something different that they have to undertake? Is there some different process or method that they have to undertake?
Foreign venture, it's a different. Yeah. It's a different. Foreign venture is a different one, right? So even in that our you say that on the real estate, they made some ventures, right? So they are not allowed foreign ventures, okay. They are, and this is very complicated here, because there are a lot of compliances, and lot of formalities are there, irrespective in comparison to the companies, okay. So that's very means totally different thing.
All right, sir. Sorry, just I happened to come across it in an article about foreign direct investment also, and they were talking about how it is different. So I didn't quite understand whether it did come under the FEMA regulation.
No, it's different.
Yeah. All right, sir. So that's all the questions that I have for the session. Thank you so much for your time. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Shikhar sir for taking his precious time out of his work and joining us today to explain a difficult yet interesting topic to us. I would also like to thank Lloyd for giving me this opportunity to partake in the session and connect with Shikhar sir and learn more about the law itself. Uh, I would would also like to take this time to thank the viewers. And before we end the meeting, I would like to make an announcement to the viewers. Any and every question that you may have with regards to foreign direct investment, please post them in the comment section. And a gentle reminder, we will share the attendance link in the comment section. Please do fill the link up and mark yourselves present for the session. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, lawyer. Thank you, viewers.
Thank you, everyone.